Let me ask you something. Have you ever had an incredible idea for something that's maybe not in the marketplace yet, but you as a person are not a builder or an inventor, right? This is kind of the space that I've been in the tech world for a long time. Thousands of great ideas, not really any way to build them besides paying some developer thousands and thousands of dollars to flesh it out. Recently, I just came across a new software that lets you build apps and tools and really kind of whatever you want. But to take those ideas that you have in your brain and to bring them to life with code and programming with no actual coding from you. Game changer. Now, to be honest, a lot of times when I come across new apps in the marketplace, I spend a lot of money trying software. A lot of things promise to do really great results, and some stuff really isn't kind of what I wanted, but if it makes sense, you'll keep it, right? You end up becoming a long-time subscriber. You end up spending thousands of dollars with these companies over time. And sometimes I'm just looking for a quick solution to a very specific problem, or to have something that I can use as a tool for myself. And I can never find those specific apps, right? Usually, I'm looking for something that's going to speed up a very particular process for me. And when it comes to that, finding the software that I want is usually non-existent. Listen to me. I will spend hours doing something to save me a few minutes on a task if I know I'm going to have to do this task a lot over time, because I can get those hours back. So I will spend hours researching. I'll go on YouTube, I'll go on Google, and I'm going to look for some software that can do exactly what I want it to do. A lot of times I'll end up at a dead end. I'll spend hours and hours doing all this research and won't find anything that I can use for my specific needs. And now this is the solution. If you haven't heard about it already, software I'm talking about is called Bolt.new. Now they have basically made this layer of ChatGPT that codes and brings your code to life in a separate window in the same screen. Now, to be honest, there's probably about 2 or 3 other softwares out here right now that do the exact same thing. And you could really even use ChatGPT to just ask for code, which I've done. But the way this is presented and the way this works itself out, this is creating multiple files for you at the same time. And it's editing all of the files live right in front of your face. It's like having, your programmer is your best friend, and you can ask him for something, and you can sit there and watch over his shoulder as he programs it and types all the stuff in the computer. It's amazing. So I went over there, checked everything out. Their lowest plan is about $20, and I was like, okay, I can risk $20 to see if I can build something or do something. I really didn't even have an idea of what I wanted to make. And I said, let me see if I can find some type of way to make this useful. It was such a brilliant idea to me that even before I had an idea to use for it, I was willing to spend the money. Okay, so I'm spending $20. The basic plan gives you like 10 million tokens, right? So I built a couple of very simple little things, and I'm trying to see, what I can map out. And then the idea hits me. So for my first real project, I said, listen, I want to build something that ties in ChatGPT. I want to be able to read files from my own computer. I want to be able to generate stuff, and I want to make it a Chrome extension, right? Seems like a large task, but Bolt.new was knocking this thing out. I will not lie. It was doing great code and giving me multiple renditions. I believe the reason why it took me all of the credits that I bought with the $20, right? Literally the 10 million credits that they give you, I spent them all once I started working on this particular project. But it was worth it. Now, let me be honest, and let me be very honest about this. When I say it took me all 10 million credits, I want to tell you I had to make about 130 renditions of the same Chrome extension that I was trying to build. It was definitely not perfect the first time. I asked for lots of changes. It did a lot of different things in different ways, and we had to find workarounds and solutions. What I will say is Bolt.new does a very great job of recognizing its own errors and attempting to fix them. It does cost you credits to fix all the errors, but it does a great job at attempting to fix what's wrong. So somewhere in that mid 100s range, we finally got something that was workable for me. So let's talk about what I was able to build. I built a Chrome extension for Etsy that pulls out from the side. It literally slides out on the side. I can click a button. It'll slide out. It'll give me the option to read the folders on my hard drive, and it'll take the name of the folder that I have in there, and it'll say, okay, I could go through this and I will generate a title, tags, and a full complete SEO description for you at the click of a button. And there's elements for me to sit there and copy and paste it and put it directly in my Etsy listing. It's the fastest thing I've been able to do so far, just because it all lives within the same window and it's reading this data automatically. It also has the ability to scroll through the folders on my computer. So if I assign it to a specific folder, I can hit a button and it will scroll through every folder and automatically bring up the data for the next one. So I was able to reduce the time that it takes me to make an Etsy listing down to about 35 seconds. So on Etsy, I sell micro digital products, and I was able to turn an old hustle of mine into some new money. As a matter of fact, I was able to do over 200 sales in my first 30 days. And my strategy on Etsy is listing a lot. So a lot of times I will do about 10 listings, 20 listings, and I've even done 50 or 60 listings at a time in my store as far as, adding new stuff. Now for me, because it's not a print on demand business, I can't just go into like a Printify or anything like that and hit a button and add 50 new products to my account. I have to do all of this by hand. The best thing that you can really do right now on Etsy is maybe copy a listing and go back in there and edit everything. But this, for me, was able to reduce that time, even from doing a copy listing, down from 3 or 4 minutes to about 30 seconds per listing. And it has everything I need. So on the back end of this thing, it's able to generate an SEO title, tags, description, which are 3 things that you need to complete your listing. I've already got another process for doing my mock-ups and all of that, but I didn't want to get too far into trying to make this one software so complicated from the start. I just needed something where I could list super quickly. And I say all of that to say that even though it took Bolt about 150 tries to get it right, this one thing is completely worth the $20 that I spent on those 10 million credits. Now, I have since learned that there is actually a way for you to get this offline and put it on your own computer and work this from your own workstation, right? You have to have a pretty good computer. So if you got a gaming computer or something like that, you can actually pull some of this stuff off. Look into, I think it's called Bolt.DIY, which is like a similar thing, but you can run it on your own computer. Me, to be honest, that's the option I'm about to go for. I haven't gone through the process yet, but that's where I'm headed next, because I am burning through credits left and right. But burning through all those credits, I have been able to build some helpful things, not only for myself, but I've built tools that I will eventually push to other people because they're made for that. So for those of you out there that are trying to do more in less time, I would definitely suggest looking into Bolt and seeing what you can build for yourself that's going to literally save you time and make you more money. These are some of the things that I've wished for forever on the internet, and to see this type of stuff come to life is like mind-blowing. I've always wished, ever since ChatGPT came around, that it had arms and legs. I consider ChatGPT to be like the brain, right? And I figured if it ever got arms and legs and we could teach it to run and we could teach it to walk, we could teach it to do other things. So even though it doesn't have legs yet and can't run, this right here gives it arms, and it says, hey, with these arms, I can build you something. So what are you going to build? Now, if you do happen to catch this video and try it out, drop me a comment and tell me something that you were able to save time on by using it. You don't have to actually tell me what your idea was if you don't want somebody on YouTube to steal it, because you know the YouTube people, they take everything that everybody else does. Yeah, some of your ideas, keep them off YouTube until you execute. Anyway, if you find the information useful and you're going to go build something dope, man, make sure you drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, holla back at me next time. See you soon.